Welcome back to my channel. I would like to continue talking about working as an international artist, basically traveling the world, living and working in different countries, and also selling your art to another country rather than your own. And this could be a great opportunity for emerging artists because you get to get the best of both worlds. You can keep the contacts from your home country and expand your networks. And today I would like to talk about living and working in Europe as an artist, as a foreign expat artist. And I have been living and working in different countries in Europe since 2010, since I first moved. I have lived in Germany, in France, and now in Spain for the past few years. And I have experienced a lot of different things, and I would like to tell you about it so you're not like kind of surprised when you came and find other things that is not like how you thought. And to me, I have found a lot of pleasant and unpleasant surprises. And if you decided to come to Europe and to come here as artists, the first thing that you can get from Europe is the free fine art education. In most of the continental countries in Europe, the art education and any other public education is free of charge. It's a merit-based, you need to be accepted by the school. It's not like you go there and you just on the waiting list. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to pass the tests. You have to be competitive. You have to speak that language, and you have to choose the school that is free. I mean, there are some private schools are not free. Like I went to a private school that is not free, and I went to a public school that is practically free, and you only need to pay the matriculation fee that is from anything from 300 euro to like 1,000 something euro depending on the conditions of the school. Generally, it is a lot cheaper than anywhere else in the world, like in the US. Like even it could be cheaper than in China. I have received public education in China, and it was not exactly cheap compared to the earnings, like the consumption, the level of purchase power in that country. So coming here to have the free art education is a very good thing if you can't afford it in your home country and you're willing to invest time, energy to be accepted by the schools here. And another thing could be the rich in culture and tradition. If you admire the old masters, Europe has been the cultural center of the world for hundreds of years, and coming here you can experience and learn from the old masters, contemporary masters, and there are a lot of opportunities for you to immerse yourself in this experience. And on top of that, the third advantage could be that in Europe in general, it has a lot more chance to show your art. In the world, Europe accounts for 59% of the art exhibitions, commercial and non-commercial, according to this UBS, the Art Market 2019 report. And this data I totally believe because I have seen a lot more art exhibitions in Europe, all over, like even in the smallest streets, and there is like an independent space to show your art, and it's very nice. Associations, and some are collaborating with the universities, and some are just totally stand-alone independent space. And it's a nice thing. If you feel that in your home country you don't have a lot of chance to show your art, come to Europe, you have more chance compared to most of places, I assume, because if Europe accounts for 59%, that is already more than half. That means the rest of the world is sharing the rest of the 40%, and that's a lot more competitive in terms of showing your art. But don't have high hopes of become multi-millionaires because of many things, and that's why I want to like continue talking about. Perhaps I have to break it up in different videos because there are a lot of many things. Like imagine if you are an American artist or Chinese artist wanting to come to Europe and make it as an artist. I wouldn't say to disencourage you. The first difficulty is like a war hitting you is to have a visa, the right visa for you to stay here. Usually to come as a tourist, that is most of artists do when they don't know if they want to stay, they could stay, they come on a tourist visa. And tourist visa in the Schengen area, that is the continental European countries, you will need to exit in 90 days. Usually no exception, like unless your hometown had a war. After exiting Schengen area, you're not allowed to come in on the same tourist visa immediately. You have to wait 90 days. And imagine if you are just having like a life here, you're not sure, but you rent an apartment, you started like doing some business here, and suddenly you have to go back and wait 3 months, and maybe you can't stand that wait. And then you need to prepare for the right permit to stay. Maybe it's an investor's permit or family of, if you have a remote family or immediate family in Europe, you have to get a family residence permit and work permit if you find a job, or an entrepreneur permit if you want to start your own company. Basically, you have to find a way to stay here and change your visa to another, like a student visa if you enroll yourself in the art school, which is actually the easiest if you have a solid skill and you have like the willingness to attend the local schools and you speak the local language. Well done, then you just become a student here, and for the next 4 years studying fine art, you don't have to worry about the permit and stay and everything. And that's also a very good solution. And usually the easiest solution is to enroll in a language school and become a language student. In this way, you get the permit as a student and you get to learn the local language, which is a very good tool for you as an international artist. Being able to stay here does not automatically mean that you can have the right to work here. I met a Chinese artist. He's already a contemporary master, like a top of his niche, and he's really, really good. His works are amazing. He came to Paris and he told me that he started like doing some experiment. He would just bring his easel out to the big streets in Paris and started painting the monuments, and then people started looking at his art, and he sold his art on site to the overlookers. And I was like, okay, for how long you did that? And he was like, for the whole afternoon. And I was like, okay, luckily it was just for one afternoon and you were not caught, because you came on a tourist visa, you can't work. Even if you have like another sort of visa that allow you to stay, does not mean that you have the right to work. And painting in the street, selling your art in the street is working, it's considered working, and it's very dangerous. You could be deported, you could get into trouble and have a big fine, and you have to pay a lot of money. It's just not the kind of trouble you want to get into as a foreign artist traveling, painting in European countries. So I would highly recommend you to consult an immigration lawyer if you are not sure, or at least read those articles, make sure that you have the right permit to stay, you have the right permit to work. Otherwise, you are getting yourself into a lot of trouble. And after that, there is another issue, is the taxation. In Europe, in most of the countries, unless Ireland and some other tax haven, I'm not saying that there are so many, but I think Ireland is the only country I could think of in Europe. Normally in the continental Europe is very, very social. That means you pay a lot of taxes. You pay from the beginning, like the lowest is 19% in Spain, and after it grows depending on how much you earn. If you earn a lot of money, like imagine $60,000, you pay 45% taxes. And are you willing to pay that much? If you're not, then you don't have to become tax resident in European countries. If you don't want, you can still stay a tax resident in your hometown, but it means that you cannot stay in one European country for more than 181 days. Normally, if you stay, for example, in Spain for 181 days, you are automatically becoming a Spanish tax resident, and you have to declare taxes here and pay taxes here. In your hometown, if you already have a CPA, if you have like a lower tax rate, I would highly encourage you to declare your taxes there and not to permanently stay in a European country. This is my no-brainer advice. There are other issues to talk about. Perhaps I will talk about tomorrow, about like having a place to live, to work, and how to do networkings in Europe as a foreign artist, and how to get exhibition opportunities and go to local art fairs, and all the things that I could think of. Maybe I'll leave it for tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. If you don't want to miss the upcoming videos, click subscription below and hit the bell button. Thank you, that's all for today. See you in the next video.